Afshani Awe Sanbonani. Hi, welcome. My name is Kanye.
And I'm Katina. Welcome to Agree to Disagree. This episode is called Two Minds, One Color. Today's date is February 16th, 2024, and we are live from South Africa, Johannesburg. This episode, we will be discussing some of the similarities and differences since moving to South Africa as a Black African American.
I'll be sharing my perspective as a native South African who just came back from the US, and I've been away for 3 years, if I'm not lying. Yeah.
About 3 years.
Yeah, that's some of the topics that we'll be discussing. I will start with the long 24-hour flight that we had. Just starting when we landed, we lost our luggage, the customer service, the struggle to get a ride to our destination. There's some of the details that we'll be diving into as we go through.
Yeah. The lost luggage was a lot for me. I wasn't expecting it to be my first difficulty in South Africa.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to find out where to find it, if it's lost, if it's in customs. Am I going to get it tonight, tomorrow, the next day? And I don't even know what address to put down. I don't have a phone number really, so it was
frustrating.
And I couldn't speak you all's language. Like everybody, that was my first encounter, and everybody, the next person having a completely different language than the one next to them, but the same color.
Yeah, I still don't get how that was a complicated thing in terms of the color, but I do get it because I'm set matched to that. I am not used to. I'm used to it that the next person might or might not speak my language, and it's like
you forgot.
It's a Russian roulette, like it's a Russian
3
roulette.
years. You forgot?
No, like I forgot, but I didn't forget. Like like it's like waking up in the morning. You automatically open your eyes. Whether an alarm is gonna go on and off, you automatically open your eyes. Like you said, with the like the same skin color, but the language is different. It's the same thing to me. It doesn't click to my mind until I speak to that person that they might not be speaking the same language. The same incident that we had with the Uber driver who was more focused on why you speaking English. And when I asked him that, aren't you staying in a rainbow nation where anybody can
speak many different
languages? Oh, Baba.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but the losing of luggage part, I didn't expect that. And the minute that I started asking everybody and nobody could give me an answer.
No, they just so focused on you coming back from America. Oh, you back. Oh, how's America? I wanna go.
And I have
and it's just like I get that y'all focus on that, and you're so excited to meet somebody who came back from America. But goodness gracious, I just got off a 24-hour flight. I just want to lay down, but I lost my luggage. But yeah, so between everyone trying to be in your business, find out about America, the different languages, plus some random passenger trying to hang on to us.
Oh yeah, and the officer was like asking us if he's with us.
And I'm like, no. I don't know. He won't even leave my side. Like, I'm even looking at him crazy. Like,
that was suspicious.
Can you move or back up? Come on, one of the But don't ride this side by side with me. Like, I stop, you stop, just like that.
Yeah, that was so weird. I wonder what happened to him.
So that was frustrating me on top of the luggage, and that had my medicine in it. So it's just like, and plus, I'm used to coming from an environment where you start cussing, people know, we messed up.
Yeah.
But here you start cussing, people looking at you like, are you really saying this in public? You offended me directly.
I still get it.
It's like,
I still do it. When she started cussing, I've been looking at her like, why? I still don't get it. I'm being honest. I'm not used to it.
I know.
Like
I
I'm
don't think you
not.
ever will be.
Like the only cussing word that normally us is literally for sex. Like
But you've been saying a little more English curse
it's
words, so
because of you.
it's,
But
I don't
it's
have a
still
gun to your head
no.
telling you to
I'm
say
not
this
talking
curse
about.
word,
I'm
though.
not talking about in a manner of you have a gun in my head. It's because of spending time with you.
I know.
But I in public I do hold my tongue though.
Sometimes.
I
Sometimes,
do
and we get
hold,
to the point now where sometimes I have to be like, Baba,
but it's
calm
really
down, watch
like
it. There's children
yeah.
around, and like, I'm used to cursing, so I'm like, I have to verify who
It's
around me before I say it. But sometimes if I don't care who around me, I'm really serious. Meaning that's the line right before physicality.
yeah, that's one.
It's kind of like a warning sign.
But I remember. I don't think it's okay. So y'all even cuss to kids to warn them,
Yeah, because the next step is a whooping on that poo poo.
but why like they should be like a cussing as a warning?
It's
Like
not on purpose; it's just instilled in us from our the people that took care of us and before us.
yeah, I did pick up bad habit on that one, and I do see myself. I'm cleaning my ex now.
I don't say that
Oh,
now.
that what I'm cleaning my ex.
It's frustrating because you obviously see that I just flew over here from a whole another continent. And you want to start asking me questions about like what it was like there, and all I want to do is get my luggage and refresh my brain. Like I'm literally on shutdown mode.
They don't
And
understand
it's
that
like poor
part.
customer service. I'm here to spend money in your country and give
They
money to your
excited.
economy and create more jobs for you, but yet you excited to where the point you forget consideration for the next person.
That's true. That's true. And see, on your perspective, they do consider it like they don't see any consideration. But to you, they will be like, "Oh, you think you're better? You don't want to interact with them," and they not putting themselves in their putting. Woo!
Ah!
God, the
English no like Africa.
whoever decided to colonize us with English really gave us a problem. Oh my goodness. Hey, but even though I still struggle with my home language, that's the problem about speaking different languages. Now you get to freeze and be like, which language should I use? But then you don't know. But back to that, they forget to put themselves in your shoes. That hey, this person might be tired. They're just excited that I finally see somebody that I can only see on TV.
But you don't see us on TV. That's what's funny. Is my culture and my people aren't the ones that are being displayed on the media and TV.
Hey, the ones that you see, thank God to TikTok, Instagram, you get to interact with different kinds of people. But yeah, but eventually we finally got help. The lady finally took down our details.
Yes.
After it was like after an hour waiting, we did wait. And what's worse was that there was another couple who was behind us in Atlanta who didn't receive any of their luggages. So in our case, it was just one luggage out of the five that we had. But with them, they didn't receive it.
Yeah. That was rough.
I
Right
hope they
there.
got it though. But we managed to get ours the next day. And the service, I gotta say
Yeah.
kudos because the service was good because the bag arrived at 8 p.m. But I couldn't get because I didn't have a phone or a SIM card or anything. So the lady couldn't get me. And by the time I was at the airport, they were already ready to ship it to us. So
Yeah, I wasn't
the
gonna let that happen, knowing that we barely get
yeah.
mail.
So no, they were using DHL.
It's still.
No, DHL was gonna drop it directly. It's like it's
Yeah,
not
at
the
the
post.
gate though.
It's
Or are
not
you gonna
post
verify
office.
somebody to get it?
It's not at the post office. The post
Uh,
office doesn't work, y'all. Ooh.
which brings me to business in South Africa. Speaking of the post
Ooh.
office, if you do want mail here, you're gonna have to get a PO box unless you live in upper class areas such as Sandton, Randburg.
Even then, they're not really getting it.
That's
And
true. Most of them tourists, anyways, and the locals ain't really. They already know they're not getting mail. Speaking of business in South Africa, you have the post office that gets on my nerves, because I can't really get mail in my residence, which is frustrating. Even though I don't check mail in the U.S., being in a different country is like, okay, I need the mail for the first few months so I can get the paperwork and everything I need to have done. So without that, you kind of have to go through the post office with a PO box, and DHL, which like sending one little piece of mail, even if it's thin, is like 40. I'm gonna say about 40 fucking dollars. So you're gonna like 700 to 1K rand. That's expensive. And imagine you have multiple pieces of paper, so that just keeps adding on to the weight.
but at least South Africa is contributing to the planet.
Saving paper.
Saving paper, no man.
Nobody wants to go to that. I guess that's why y'all have a lot of like illegal immigrants, because when it comes to business here, it's very hard. Google is not a solid source like in the US. You can't just Google something and think I'm gonna find it there. It may be a very old post. I want to say Home Affairs have like 5 different websites plus an Indian company, V.F.S.
It's an American company.
It's American. Okay. Well, some third party company that also can help you,
Yeah.
but they somehow send information to Home Affairs.
Yeah.
I don't care if you book an appointment online, you fill out the paperwork online, you need to print that paperwork out.
Oh, VFS?
Yes, you have to print out your reference letter, you have to print out proof. Like everything still has to be printed out. Payment, proof, like all that. Yeah.
I don't know the process with VFS. Honestly, that one, it has to be clarified with VFS because how is it that I need to print out
My application when I just submitted it and filled it out online. So do you not have it in the system?
Exactly.
Where did my information go? Especially when I get up there and you don't want to deal with me at all because I'm missing literally just the application part.
Yeah.
But I just submitted the application, applied online, and paid online, but somehow you can't help me in person because I did not print out my application, in which your website did not work for me to print it out. It literally kept taking me back to the login page.
Yeah, the website
4 to 5 times when I'm hitting download or print application. So I think after the 3rd or 4th time, somebody gonna stop.
The website doesn't work.
Many websites don't
work. I remember the Home Affairs one when we were trying to apply. Even what's worse is the security guard is busy yelling at people, "Where's your appointment? Where's your appointment?" And it doesn't work. And it doesn't matter which way you try because the other lady at the Gauteng traffic department actually, well, they're introducing new system where if you're an FNB client, a Discovery client, an ABSA client, you can actually apply through them and then you go to the bank. But the problem, you still get stuck when you need to book the appointment. Like you can go through the first layer and it's successful. You go through the second layer,
making progress here.
Third layer, you're like, oh yeah, and this but
it finally works.
The final layer is like, I'm sorry. It's like so it's literally like frustrating, and it's like, I guess that's where we go back to being a third world country because it's like, okay, you have this system, y'all keep referring people to the system, but when you get there, it's like
nobody knows how it works, why it works, where does it go. I just know I'm supposed to be here and telling you this.
Yeah.
I get paid to do this. Yeah. As long as I showed up at work, I get paid regardless of whether your
And that's,
information is submitted, done, or whatever. That's not my problem. I
yep.
get paid still, and I get to go home and drink.
She said, "Go home and drink." Ooh, but yeah, the headache in Home Affairs, y'all. I don't know. Every time you go there, there's a new story. I remember. Do you remember when we were waiting in the queue and they stopped working? I don't know why, but the two guys were sitting and on the computer just sitting, and the line is long. And this is allegedly supposed to be the fastest Home Affairs in
I
the
want to say
past.
when they open, you get about maybe 30 minutes to an hour of work.
Yeah.
They'll stop for a good hour
Hmm.
to 30 minutes. You'll watch people walk back and forth and all this, but somehow somebody's always laughing and having a full blown conversation no matter where you go.
Hmm.
But
And
the
if
system is down.
Yep. And if you don't talk, you will turn back. You have to be adamant about what you're looking for, because they're gonna tell you no, you can't do it. You're
Yeah.
gonna say no, you can't do it. But when you keep further explaining, that person didn't fully understand what you're looking for. But
Like the
somehow,
registering the marriage certificate, we got sent to the marriage department, who then sent us to some
oh,
part inside of Home Affairs that also handles birth certificates, IDs, and all this other stuff.
no, no, no. She told me that it was impossible because I got married outside of the country, and that's why she wanted to send me to the lady in the register. I don't know why was I being sent to the birth certificate registration. I don't know. I had to go to her boss. Yeah, I almost turned back because I was like, I do not understand. I was like, fuck it, I might as well be just married
Online
in the
it tells me
US.
this. I know I
Yeah.
have the registry here, but some reason this government and the people behind it do not understand this process and what to
Hmm.
do. So
It's like,
I guess you could just change my status. No, we can't change your status because we don't know you married. That's the point. I am married. I'm just trying to get it registered here.
oh, yeah. Oh, you can't register because you didn't get married here.
And it's
Say
like,
what? Ah,
no, this it says right here.
and then when her manager was like da, 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 to her, and then she's like, "Oh, just give me your name and copy of this," and I was like, "Was that all?" But that's not the top tier, yo. You gotta wait 1, 2, 3 months, and you don't even get an SMS, an email. You have to go back.
Let's say 3 months and 2 weeks. Because we didn't even go back on time on 3 months.
Yeah,
It didn't come until literally that last week we
yeah,
came. We came like a
yeah.
week and a half after.
Hmm. You have to physically walk in there, physically give your ID, and she will check. And also double check if she actually wrote the right name, because apparently she didn't read whatever that was on the marriage license. But on top of that is there's another cheaper option that you can go through a third party, but they do charge. They are. They do cost if you
About how much?
about 3K, the one that I was looking at. But there are other options. I just saw two ones, and my cheapskate, I was like, oh
Cheap
no.
is always better. But I
Those
will pay
that
for
wait,
quality though.
yeah. But those that wait do get their result because it's still the same thing. But now it's done. But
Yeah.
the Home Affairs experience was traumatizing.
Always.
You can never be prepared.
I'm still not. It's to the
Yeah.
point where I've convinced my wife that she can go as long as they don't need my signature or anything.
She trying to throw me to the lion dance.
You
I ain't going
used
by
to
my.
it,
No, I
like
am not
waking
used
up
to
there
it.
early, being around all them people, having to jump from taxi to taxi to taxi.
Yeah.
Is this the taxi? Is this the taxi? Is this the taxi? I need to
That's
wait.
That's another
And then
one.
you get there and security wants to be a fucking asshole wherever you go.
Oh
Security
yeah.
policing more than the police here.
Yep, that's a true one. I like security
Like the
guards here.
DMV that we went to, where I move security or something, threatening to kill me or something.
You
Because
know,
I didn't want to play with him that early in the morning, where this is the second DMV I'm coming to try to get some information done. And you didn't
yeah.
tell me nothing. You just gonna sit me at this gate. Nobody's gonna walk and open the gate or tell me to wait. Good morning, nothing.
Yeah, a security guard, yo. Like everywhere you go, everybody knows. Like they are the gatekeepers, literally, literally.
Of
But
any business, though, they will be the downfall. They are the downfall of a lot of businesses.
yeah, they're
And
very
money
rude
is
and
the type of
abusive.
security, and it's like because everybody a security officer here. Anybody can be a security officer. It's like it's not about the type of person you are. It's about the same as letting anybody be a police officer. And then when it comes time to do the job, you want to feel threatened.
It's a headache, bro.
Yeah,
Another industry is the taxi drivers. How was your experience in the
bro,
taxi?
taxi is always humor for me. It's
But
comedy. Drama always, but then at the same time, the taxi drivers get on my nerves. Just the same as Bolt drivers
ooh,
or Uber drivers, and they're always
ooh,
men. They feel like you should be entitled for them taking you somewhere, and it's like,
they can tell you
but you
what to
have a
do and
job
what not
because
to
I
do.
need to go somewhere, and I choose to take you. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I could choose to go another way to my destination.
Yeah.
And without us, you wouldn't have no money or a business.
No.
But they are so disrespectful, like the one that just stopped on the side of the road on the way of us going to home affairs that morning.
Oh
Didn't
my
say anything
god.
to anybody, and
And
everybody
then
just like,
on top of it, it was just like a minute after we paid. We paid,
everybody
yo.
paid. And then
It's
all of a
just.
sudden, this man drives a block down the road and didn't say nothing, hops out, and
Mhm.
we looking like, where did this
We
man
waited like
go?
10 minutes, and he wanna get in and like, oh, I didn't tell you, and like everybody's like, you
You did
didn't
not
tell
tell
us,
us anything.
you
Folks trying to go
didn't.
to work.
Everybody was on a Monday.
So that's why it's like frustrating because you have to get
Yeah.
up earlier than what you need. So just in case
Mm-hmm.
somebody decides to inconvenience you that day or at
Exactly.
some point in the day.
And also, even with Bolt drivers, you just have to put like an hour or a minute. Remember that Bolt driver who literally stopped and changed his wheel?
Girl, we had multiple. One stopped and changed his tire right after he
Yep.
picked us up
Mm-hmm.
while we're in the back seat. One of them decided, oh, I have to go pick some up, and goes the complete opposite direction
Of our
of
direction.
our destination.
Mm-hmm.
Sits there, picks something up from some tire or mechanic place. I don't even know if he even picked it up. He came back empty
No, they
handed.
were arguing. They end up didn't bring anything.
And
They were
then decides to
arguing.
take us to our destination. So y'all have to watch out for stuff like that. They will try to get over on you and try to like,
Yeah.
oh, I went the wrong direction. It's like,
Just to
no, the
get
map
extra
literally does
money.
not say turn that
Mm-hmm.
direction. You could have stopped and got there before you came to me. But y'all
Exactly.
choose to wait till you pick up the riders, then decide to do what you want to do on the rider's dime, so where they get charged more than what it says on the app.
Just like our Bolt yesterday.
Oh my gosh, y'all. That's gonna be a whole different podcast. Bolts and Uber and how to maneuver them, and plus how we can fight back against these companies
Mm-hmm.
taking our money and misusing us and thinking that they can protect their employees
Mm-hmm.
without realizing that us as consumers and customers are the backbone of your business, especially tourism. Like, you are there for that. Locals have
Exactly.
taxis or their own vehicles,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
But yeah, taxis are really funny. If you wanna uplift your spirit, you should catch a taxi.
you ever feel
Listen,
bored, just go on a taxi, bro.
I talking about the first time I got my wife into a taxi. We were going to Mall of Africa. It was a Saturday at 5 p.m. You want me to tell you? Oh, we got into a taxi and waited like for like 10 to 15 minutes. The taxi driver started to drive around with us to look for people. My wife thought that we were going to I myself believe we were going to the destination. No, he made a U-turn and we went back to where we started.
Where we walked to get the taxi to Africa in the same exact spot. And mind you, 2 hours have went by. The mall closes at like 8, mind
Yeah.
you. You may be able to get a couple food places still open, but not much.
And then we finally got like a couple of 3 to 4 people. Then this passenger felt like they need to get off the taxi and bang the door.
That was already broken.
The door went
The whole
off.
taxi itself was broken. I didn't even think it was operable.
It wasn't. That was
I
not
was
roadworthy.
like, the seats are barely inside of this. The metal is rusted. Like, does it even move? Can we get far?
No.
I was like, what kind of taxi driver is this? The man was busted, missing teeth. Like,
Yeah.
I was scared. I thought I would be kidnapped for sure before I make it to Mall of Africa. Let me tell you that.
I feared for her life, so I was like, what did I get my wife into? Why did I let my mom convince me to catch a taxi? I was ready to catch a ball, but my wife, like, and I thought it would be a great experience, but I was traumatized myself as a native South African.
Girl, we gonna speak on the family issue.
Oh my God.
But
That's
yeah,
why we need wine for it.
yeah. Even at Mall of Africa, when we got there, it was a problem. Like, that's why we had to do it. We didn't have internet
Yeah.
to book a boat or Uber.
And I couldn't get a SIM card because I didn't have proof of registry, and I couldn't do cell phone banking because I didn't have a SIM card. And apparently, they couldn't even allow me to have a different number that and my banking app to be in the phone that is not linked with the number. Yeah.
We spent over a K or 2K on trying to have internet access to literally just watch something.
Yep.
We had no books that we hadn't already read.
And pre-read and reread.
No games.
Like,
Literally
yeah,
a 4 brick wall, and that was it.
we were detoxing.
I thought that's what I wanted, but not to still be surrounded by a bunch of people drinking and partying. Like, no.
Yeah, we came in at the peak. Yeah, so and like, remember the first lady that I went to Capitec? She was the one who actually refused to allow me to download the app and help me work. And I had to go buy a phone, but when it was time for me to buy a phone, they needed
Proof of address.
proof
It's
of
like, I
what?
can't have proof of address because I can't get into my bank account.
It
And the bank's
was
like, well, I can't help you because you don't have a phone number.
I had to go to 3 banks until I went to Mall of Africa. That's when this boy finally helped me. I
Yeah.
forgot his name, but he finally able to call head office, have them change my OTP pin to be sent to my email, and then
Which I
that's
knew that
when.
was an option. I knew it. I kept telling her, I was like, no, this you're not gonna. That's the point of multi-factor authentication, though.
But you saw every lady at Capitec what they always say.
It's not just Capitec though. But this business
It's
here in South
possible.
Africa is like what one person may not know, the next person may know, that person may not know it, but that person may know. It may be bits and pieces that each person know, but you just have to keep asking around, keep checking, no matter how long it takes. Eventually, you'll find somebody to pay off and get your shit done.
Because otherwise, if you ask 1 or 2 people, one will always tell you the reason why it's not going to be done or the reason why it's impossible. Like, for example, do you remember the lady at Capitec who told me that I cannot use my US income. But on their website, they specifically said it is possible. But this person just decided to blow me off as my banker and as my advisor.
Yeah,
Like,
your banker here is not your banker. They're just somebody to
yeah,
hold your money and be in your business.
to gatekeep you, like,
From
like,
getting things, yeah.
yeah.
They're the gatekeep you from being disrupted to capitalism. They
Mhm.
want people to who can't afford a loan to get a loan.
Mhm.
The less you make, the more they can give you, because the more likely you'll pay them for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, love. What was it like seeing your family after 3 years?
It was not what I expected. It is very disappointing. I miss them. It was good to see them. It felt good to see them, and I was grateful that everybody that I left was still alive. But at the same time, a lot has unfolded since I've been back. I went from having thousands of family members texting me to one or two texting me, and being back with my wife, it's kind of
Can't return married, left
yeah.
singled,
Came back
drunk, daughter,
yeah.
return married, responsible.
I was responsible even before. I was
Yeah,
in my
according
own.
as responsible as your environment. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. But
But
what's it like compared to the family structure in America from what you've seen?
I've seen
Well, the little bit of true American, Black American culture.
I've seen similarities, and I've seen like different ways. So I will start in terms of growing up, looking at Black American culture and looking at African culture. We have similarities. Majority of us, we did grow up with our grandparents playing in the street. And when I discovered that the Black American culture did get the drug pandemic, and we did get the teenage pregnancy and HIV pandemic, which is similar. And finding out that Black women in both countries were still raising kids as single women, which is something that I didn't think that majority of Black Americans had that. I thought many of them were raised by two families. And another similarity is the ass whooping. Both cultures, they believe in ass whooping. The different thing that I've seen is that Black Americans have their independency at a later stage. Like mothers, they cut the cord at a later stage. To us is like it's always like mom, 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 mom. Like you know how everything, and that's the different part. And another thing is the the speaking up in terms of the family. I'm talking about my side. The speaking up, Black American culture, you guys are allowed to speak up to yourself. Not in no 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 no. Let
When
me
we older,
finish.
yeah.
When you older, I'm talking about now. But remember when I spoke up to my grandmother and she poked my head and I was just asking a question. Whereas in Black American culture, you can da and everything, you know, and that's the difference.
Yeah. The parents are definitely threatened by their children's intellect
Yeah.
and education,
Hmm.
but yet they want them to be successful and educated, but without the benefits of being successful and
Yeah.
educated. So
Like
it's definitely a double-edged
independency.
sword. No,
Yeah.
they want you forever dependent. That's been
Like
what I've gotten from you all's culture. They want you forever to be dependent, and that's their idealization of a family unit.
I wanna be like, they want you to be independent, to stand up for yourself,
And make
but
money.
still be dependent on them. It's like,
You
so
independent when you can go to work.
yeah,
You
but
independent to make that check every month.
yeah.
But when it comes to choosing the job or accepting a position or, whatever it comes down to, the aesthetics of the situation is no, you need to consult me. I need you to be dependent. I know everything.
Yeah.
Even if I'm in a position that you never been in. I'm learning my way.
And that's why our black text hits differently, because at the same time you're like, I'm the breadwinner, but at the same time, why am I?
Treated like an
Yeah.
outcast
Or
or
like a third citizen or
a runt
something, but
of
at
the
the same
pack.
time, it's like, that's my sweat and blood that is contributing. And I've seen many TikToks where many Africans are talking about it, that
I mean, what about you? I've seen the records of
me,
even me from a
like,
US dollar standpoint. My mouth was like,
yeah.
you sent that much back home over 3 years and you don't even have land, but yet there are multiple people throughout your family that has land and you're giving these people money. They have these big houses that they building from scratch. Multiple properties.
Yep.
But I don't have anything for my children. And they'll say it's for you up until it's time for you to be independent with your own family. Then it's you betraying me. You betraying this family. And it's like, but I'm actually technically not part of your family. Like,
There is, as much as they say there's a thin line between love and hate, there is a thin line between family and independence. And it always, I think they always label it as being the black sheep of the family. But why are we relating it to black? And I also realized that even at school, we were never taught to be raised as individuals, but to be followers of each other. Like, you always have like a top. Why did we have like a top student in class if we are all
equal.
learning and in the same level? Why did we have to compete with the next grade?
Why is it a competition with children who
Yeah.
all learn differently, move differently,
Instead of us,
at a different pace, teaching us to
exactly,
go at our own pace?
develop your own way. Not everybody wants to know 1 plus 1, and not everybody wants to go in the same direction as your neighbor's child.
No, definitely not. But that's one thing I will say, that shade, manipulation, and the covering of thy true self with religion is apparent in both continents.
Yeah.
You definitely have to stay spiritually. I think it's more spiritual war over here in Africa, though. Like, being here, I think you have to deal with more fake smiles. One day they your enemy for no reason. The next day, oh, I'm your friend because I need you. Next day, and like they'll do it in the name of, oh, this family, this, and the whole time they trying to cast some sort of spell, muti, voodoo, whatever they gotta do to try to manipulate you. Because I, like, the things that have happened here my whole life, I've never hurt myself in some of the ways that have happened, and it's like, even the way that it happened is like, I still don't understand how that happened. There was definitely some extenuating force there. All this hate piled up against me, all that negative energy outweighed the amount of positive energy that I was putting into the world. Because you start to think, oh, what is it about me that this person doesn't like? It is nothing specific. Cause number one, you American. Number two, you black and not white. Number three, I'm a lesbian. So, and I'm
Yeah.
female. So that's another thing. Females are very endangered, undervalued here in delusion.
As I attend her, I'm like, girl.
No, the good ones are still like you. Like there are still some very good, powerful women that are still undervalued, and men refuse to allow them to help the family and country and people as a whole
Even
because of
in
their ego.
Parliament, you can see
Hmm.
that there's so many great women that if they can take space and take charge, they can be a
Make a
difference.
difference, yeah.
And
It's
it
a
even
man-ran country for sure.
in the family, you can see that if there's some woman, if they can take over, they can do good.
Make a difference.
And that's another similarity that we can compare with women in America, that they are carrying.
They are the backbone of the family.
Yeah,
They carry the weight.
yeah.
You don't
So
hear people gathering for their grandfather.
no,
Okay.
I was even shocked. Like I was like, "You did what?" But I
No,
was
it's
like,
always the grandmother. It's like, oh, my grandmother's birthday, grandmother this,
"Mm-hmm,
mom this, and it's like the grandmother is usually then therefore the mother to everybody.
yeah,
But you don't hear about the father being the father to every generation. It's just, oh
mm-hmm."
yeah, that's his offspring, that's his child, and you get the last name. So every time they mention the child, they mention you.
Women will still rise. Hey, I'm waiting for that day. Ooh, ooh, watintum fazi, watintim bobo. My other thing is that men are ready to argue with women at all costs.
Yeah. But knowing the differences and similarities, I would have to say that the struggle that African Americans consistently go through from each offspring has built them into the people that they are today. That as many, I know that many Africans admire Americans in America, but they have to understand that didn't come from just sitting around drinking. That didn't come from admiring the next country. That came from putting on our shoes, pulling up our bootstraps, and going out there and doing what we have to do, providing, doing the best that we can.
See, the media
No
doesn't
matter,
show the
I
hard
get that, but that's
working.
why we're talking about this now. That's why I have this podcast now. And this is where we are able to destroy the mainstream media. This is where we're able to take insight from actual people from that culture. Stop believing what the movies or whatever who are paid millions of dollars to show you specifically what benefits them.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, we can't unite until we understand each other. And being here, I would have never known the things that I knew about Africa or South Africa in general, and the people and what it's like if I never physically came and stepped foot here and mingle with the locals.
Yeah, that's true. You have to take yourself out, because I also had a different perspective of the U.S. until I lived there,
For three
and
years.
she's like, and I got to experience it. Like you have to be there in order to not just like as a tourist, but to leave. There's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
There's like layers. I think it's like being in a relationship. There's a layer when you see as a girlfriend, and there's a layer that you see when you're married, and there's a layer that you see whatever comes
When
after
y'all
marriage.
dating or just
Yeah,
friends with benefits, like even if it's just sexual, there's the okay, I only see you sexually.
yeah.
If you're dating, okay, I only see you in terms of are you fun to go out with?
Mhm.
Can we get along with each other?
Mhm.
Okay, as a girlfriend or boyfriend, as an actual spouse, I see you as okay. Are you clean? Are you comfortable enough for me to live with, and potentially go towards this route?
Yeah.
And it's like some people may meet those stages up into a certain area. Some people may not even meet the lower stages. Some people may exceed
Mhm.
all expectations, but come with a heavy price.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's America. Like when you elsewhere, any country feels like it meets your expectation because you're marking off those checklists from online. And then all of a sudden you get there and it's like, do all this came with like a price of like my life?
Yeah.
No. I
It's
didn't sign
like,
that contract.
yeah.
It's like,
And by the time you wake up to it, it's like
years in the game.
what?
now I have things here, I have a life here, I have people that I love here,
Yeah.
and I want to keep it and sustain it now. And it's like, but in order to do that, I have to continue my contract with them.
Yeah, a GOB.
And I think that's where the problem comes in. Is many South Africans or many Africans want to keep the environment of what they currently in, like the work ethic, the lifestyle, the amount of hours worked, not really giving much effort and job, and then still have the benefits of working in America.
Hmm. And it comes with, I think also people that move from where they are and going to wherever they are, they want to bring their lifestyle in their country, but at the same time, they're not looking into the environment that they're in.
And how far they are.
Yeah, and when people start questioning them that, hey, why you do this, it's like,
because I can definitely tell you, like, I was misled about South Africa. I was misled.
mm-hmm.
Like, I thought it was like up to the standards of UK Americas. Hell no. Well, I tell you, our cable's been stolen multiple times. Try spending hundreds of dollars on groceries and to find out you waking up in the middle of the night with no power. It's hot. I can't keep the door open because I have rats and mice that might get in my house.
Mm-hmm.
Or the thieves might come in. Everything has to keep locked. Even if I'm going right around, I have to lock everything down. Even then, it's likely they may rob me. Like,
Before they rob your cables.
exactly. And we don't even have load shedding in our area, but now we do because, I mean, you might as well call it load shedding because we've been more without electricity within the last, since the beginning of January this year.
Yeah.
Versus everybody else, I'd rather deal with load shedding. That way I know, okay, I have 3 hours in the morning. I have 3 hours right here. I better not buy any bulk meat because I'm going to have a busy load shedding the next few weeks or a month. Just like the 6 hour load shedding the other day. Like,
whew.
I hope y'all didn't go grocery shopping. Like, that costs more money. And
Yeah.
there's not really much stability here. And it comes at a very heavy price.
And
Like, the currency maybe get you further, but the stability of, your country comes at a heavy price, moving from a first world country to more of a third world country. As much as I hate to say it, but it is, unfortunately. I don't care about the big businesses, the malls, the McDonald's, the KFCs, the Bolts, the Ubers. Like, it's still third world. It's very, very third world. Like, and the fact that you can uproot a shack, a metal Ford square box, anywhere you feel like it has an open space that ain't fit in. It's a third world country. You can't do that in the U.S. That ain't finna fly. I don't care if it's on the curb. That business is gonna tell you it's there, but it's belong to the city, and the city know this business is gonna do my job.
That's why we don't have homelessness.
Exactly, because everybody has a home some way, somehow.
Homelessness, yeah.
Like, it is crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. It's something new every day is happening.
Yeah, and it's not pertaining specifically to you or South Africa. It's just anybody in a different level of standard country-wise. You can't go from this standard to here and expect them to still have this type of standard. Like, that's just life. It doesn't really work like that. It's gonna come at a price.
Yeah, it needs you to adjust and readjust all the time, because it'll be like, what the fuck, and life keeps going on. Like, life keeps going. It's a rolling stone. We gotta,
like Papa was a rolling stone,
rolling. Yeah, man.
That being said, thank you for tuning in to our Agree to Disagree first episode, Two Minds, One Color, live from Johannesburg, South Africa. I am Katina.
I am Katina. Thank you for joining us.
Until next time, see you soon.